good morning, folks. Time is 8:23 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on the 27th of February, 2025, which is the 28th and a Friday for our friends on the other side of the planet. Hello, Indonesia. Hello, New Zealand. Hello, Australia. And specifically, hello, Melbourne. I hope everybody's doing awesome today. I hope everybody's doing awesome every day, but especially today because, well, today is where we are right now. Who am I? My name is Lee. I'm the guy who started the group. Well, I thought it was funny. The group that was so funny that I thought I better do something in case I lose it. So I started a second group. And then I lost it. So we have the second group, folks. This second group has 1,000 amazing members in it, just like you and I, folks. That is awesome. 1,000 folks in one place. Isn't that like the funniest village on the internet? Because that's what I'm calling it. The funniest village on the internet, population you and I, my friends. You know what? It's a funny place full of funny people. Well, let's make people laugh. And you know what? I heard that you're you, and I know that you're awesome because you helped me create this group. And this group is awesome, and it wouldn't be without you, my friends. Cheesy? Yeah, it sounds cheesy, but you know what? It is true. So, what am I doing today? Well, let's start with what I did yesterday. I did mention that I was working the Calgary Hitman Be Brave game. 17,000 happy, excited kids, just so excited. I'm telling you, they were yelling. It was so loud in there. Everybody's wearing a pink shirt because that's the anti-bullying color. It was, there's a lot of ushers that kind of fear this event. They just, oh my gosh, all these kids. It was so fun. These kids are so excited. They were well behaved. They had a great time, and I had a good time. I really did. I know a lot of our other ushers, the older guys. I'm an usher, by the way, at the Calgary Saddle. If this is your first time watching one of these videos, some of our older ushers are like, I don't want this. I want to be around this. I'd rather, poke my eyes out. No. This was really good, and this year was particularly well organized, despite the fact that we needed a lot more staff. But yeah, I had a great time. It really, really was fun. And I needed that. If folks have been following what's going on, I definitely needed distraction every once in a while. And that was an amazing distraction. It was really fun. It's my 7th time working the event. I've never had any issues. So, yeah. Here's to the kids. There's no kids watching this, I'm sure. And no kids in Calgary watching this because it's not a kid's video anyways. But here's to the parents of any of those kids if you're anyone from Calgary watching this. Your kids were awesome, folks. And today I do have a day off, and I'm very happy because I'm very tired. And no plans. I am gonna do laundry. I do laundry pretty much any day I have a day off. Yes, my wife also does laundry. Somebody asked me this yesterday, but I just have more time to do it than she does. And I know how to do laundry. I know how to separate the whites. I mostly know what's supposed to be hung up. I occasionally make a mistake, but never with my clothes. It's easy when you're a jeans and t-shirt guy, though. So that's pretty much the most exciting thing that I'm going to do today. Might go for a little bit of a drive later on. Who knows? Maybe I'll continue that thrift store run and try and find some more comedy books or comedy CDs. I've never found a comedy CD. So that's what I'm probably going to do. What are you doing today, my friends? I'd love to hear it. I'm always interested in hearing what you're doing. Why? Because I need some distractions, and I'd like to make a connection with a few. It's just, I don't know, it helps build that sense of community for me. So if you feel like sharing, let us know what you're doing, my friends. I gotta say, I'm looking forward to seeing that sweater from Rose Glad. It's been progressing amazingly. I'm not a knitter or anything like that, but I can appreciate quality work, and I can appreciate beauty, and that is a beauty with quality work. That's two things. So fantastic, Rose. Looking forward to that. Once again, those socks that you did, I know they're just socks. I shouldn't say just. That's work. They look amazing. And the sweater's looking amazing too. Looking forward to that. And now we get to that point of the video where I showcase 2 posts from amazing members of the group like you. Now, the 2 members, well, one of them I know really well because it's me. That guy's responsible for every bad decision I've ever made. So the first one's coming from me. Maybe that's a little bit selfish, but you know what? Sometimes I make myself laugh, even if I'm not funny. And then the second one, coming from Sue Ocheski, that's a name you recognize. If you watch these videos, or if you're on this group, of course you recognize that name. She's one of our most prolific posters, so she's got a great post too. So we're going to start with mine because, well, I'm selfish. So So here, we're going to start with mine. Here we go. This made me laugh, and I swear, this is what was happening in my head for a few days there. Maybe a little bit right now. I love this format. I love this guy. There's a great TED Talk with him talking about how, he just went and took some stock photos with his friend who had asked him to do it, and they took off, and, it's fantastic, actually. Seems like a really interesting guy. But I love this meme. It made me laugh, and it hit home, my friends. All right, let's drop that down. Enough talking about myself. Hey, let's bring up Sue Ochesky's post. Yes. I mean, come on. We have a spokescow as our spokesperson. That's Dorothy. This is perfect, and it's funny. It's not the first time I've seen it, but that doesn't mean it's been posted to this group before, and if it has, it's been a long time. So, made me laugh. Thank you so very much, Sue. You know what? This is what it's all about, right, my friends? It's all about laughing. We share these posts because we think they're funny, and we want to make someone else laugh. At least that's why I do it. And thank you, Sue. Thank you, Lee. Wait a minute, that's stupid. Thank you, Sue, for your posts. And folks, thank you for all your posts. Keep them coming in. The more posts we get, the better the group gets, and the more likely I'm going to be sharing your posts if you share more posts. If I haven't shared them yet, it's not because I don't want to. It's not because I'm like, I only want to share posts from a few people. I share the posts that make me laugh right before I make the video. Usually that's the way it goes. And these ones made me laugh recently. And of course, the one I posted, well, I just thought it was time to post that one. So I'll keep looking for your posts, my friends. Just keep them coming through, and maybe tomorrow I'll share yours. All right, let's see. Where are we at today? Came in, I told you what the time was here. I told you what the date was here. And then I mentioned the date in the other side of the world. Hello, Melbourne. Such an idiot. Then I asked you what you were doing today, and I talked about my day. And my day yesterday, once again, great time at the Calgary Hitmen Be Brave game. And then we discussed, then I asked you what you're doing. And then I discussed Rose Glad's day a little bit. Yesterday, she was probably finishing that sweater. And then, of course, I showcased two posts. One from that jerk Lee. The other one from Sue Ochesky. And then I got us to here. And then when we get here, it's usually that time I say, it's time for the bad jokes. What do you call a wandering caveman? A Neanderthal. What do you call a pit full of donkeys? An asshole. Just as I suspected, somebody's been secretly adding soil to my garden. The plot thickens. What do you give the cannibal guest that shows up late to your dinner party? The cold shoulder. What word has 5 letters but becomes shorter when you add 2? Short. My wife told me to stop pretending I was a farm animal. She told me to stop horsing around. Why shouldn't you ever iron a 4-leaf clover? Because it's never good to press your luck. I saw my neighbor talking to her dog the other day, and it was obvious that the poor woman thought that the dog understood her. So when I got home, I had to tell my cat about it, and boy did we have a good laugh. What do you call a nervous witch? A twitch. Why was the penguin's head cold? Because he was wearing an ice cap. I really appreciate the fact that I've got some people that come back here every day for those bad jokes, and I really appreciate it. Folks, I appreciate everybody that's in the group. I appreciate everybody that watch the videos, but I especially appreciate the folks that come back for the bad joke. Why? Because that's the part of the video that I kind of put the most work into. I have to do the research, I have to find some jokes, which gets a little bit harder every day. But it's worth it. It's worth it. It's fun to tell them, and the reason it's so fun to tell them is, I just know there's a few people out there laughing at them, and I kind of laugh when I'm looking through them. And of course, it's that. Quite often, it's just that they're so bad that you've got to laugh, right? But there's nothing wrong with that. You're still laughing. You're not laughing at anyone's misfortune. Maybe mine. I'm kidding. But yeah, I really like telling them, and I really like the fact that there's some people out there that like them. I tell you what, folks, if you've got some bad jokes or some good jokes, it doesn't matter. If you've got some jokes you want me to tell, please send them to jokes@wellithoughtitwas.com. That's jokes@wellithoughtitwas.com. And you know what? If I use them, I'm going to give you credit or blame. They are bad jokes. At the same time, you can also leave them as a comment on this or any other of these videos. If you can, just try to maybe tag me in them. Or if you're uploading a meme or something like that, that actually fits with that realm of a joke that I can tell, don't hesitate to tag me in that too. I think you can tag me on the group. I have never had to tag myself, but it shouldn't be an issue. But I want your jokes. I promise you I want your jokes, and I promise you I'm going to use them if I can, and you will get credit. Also, and I do this every day, you probably saw that there's a penguin joke in there. Yeah, I do a penguin joke every day, and that joke comes from the packaging on penguin chocolate biscuits. In Canada, I would call them a cookie, so I may just refer to them as chocolate cookies. They are from the UK. They're a delicious chocolate biscuit, chocolate wafers with a chocolate cream filling, and then they're dunked in chocolate. They're rectangular. Each one is individually wrapped. Each one has a cheesy penguin joke on it, and I try to use one every day. No, I don't try to use one every day. I do use one every day. And, I've been asking folks in the UK if they can send me some penguin biscuits. Of course, I would pay for them, and I'm still interested in that. But I went out the other day.
She's starving out your food. Look, I go to you. I stick up for you. You know, help me now. Jobu. I do it myself.
That's right. I went out the other day. I went to two places. The first place I went to was a place called the British Pantry. Went in there. They had everything except for the penguin biscuits that I wanted. They did have some penguin chocolate cookies, but they're not the same. They didn't have the jokes. So I had to do a little bit more quick research because I had to work that day. And I found another shop, the Scottish shop. Take a look at that. Take a look at that SHOPPE. I've been mentioning that spelling in these fancy shops. But anyways, I went down there and I got myself 6 packages of penguin cookies. I'm going to show a picture of that right now. And I got myself a 6-pack of Iron Brew, which is a Scottish soda, which I've never tried, but I've heard of it before. Apparently it outsells Coca-Cola in Scotland, which is kind of cool. We're going to try it today. I'll let you know if I remember tomorrow, I'll let you know what I thought of it. But yes, I picked up 6 packages of penguin biscuits, and it was, I was glad to find them. I did spend a little bit more than I had originally planned to when I was going to buy them from somebody in the UK. But at the same time, it was less than I thought, and what an amazing shop. These cookies were not, or biscuits were not expensive for one of these shops at all. I don't want you to get that idea. They have to import them from the UK. I totally get that. And the prices were quite reasonable. And the gentleman that served me, I gotta tell you, just awesome. Nice guy, really nice guy, very helpful, amazing Scottish accent, amazing mustache. This guy was classy, man. I'm telling you. And I really like this shop. It was a nice little shop. It's here in Calgary, Alberta. Now, this is not a paid endorsement at all. I just appreciate it, and it's a little shop. It's an independent place, so I like to support that. If you're in Calgary, the place is called the Scottish Shop. That shop with 2 P's and an E. It's in Kensington at 106A 10th Street Northwest. Check it out, man. I'm not Scottish, but I love the place, and there's a whole bunch of treats in there. A bunch of cool stuff. If you are Scottish, so of course they got kilts, they got everything you need. And yeah, this guy was not only Scottish, he kind of reminded me of not reminded me because I've never been there, but what I thought a Scottish guy in the 1800s would be like. It's just totally classy. So thank you very much, Mr. Jim Osborne. Thank you for helping me get my thank you for helping me get my penguin cookies. I'm pretty sure you're not watching this video, but I love your shop and thank you very much. So hopefully I can get some more people there for you. That's where I got my penguin biscuits for my jokes, because I've been out of them for a while. Now I've got another idea that I talk about every day, and I'm sure it's not going anywhere at the moment, but we're going to keep working on it and see what happens. What's that idea? Hello McVitie's/Plattis. That's right, that's that company with that logo there that makes those wonderful penguin biscuits. Guess what? I do these joke videos every single day, and every day I feature one of your jokes. That's right. And I mention where they come from. They come from those beautiful penguin biscuits that you supply us with. Well, not me so much, because where I am. You know what, McVitie's? I've got this wonderful idea. Why don't you get in early and sponsor my joke video, or the joke portion of my video? That's right, I'll have sponsored by McVitie's, and I'll have your logo up there. when I'm telling the penguin jokes, if I find one, I will wear a penguin hat or whatever you figure I should do. So think about it, McVitties. I'm easy to get a hold of. You can get a hold of me at admin@wellithoughitwas.com. That's admin@wellithoughitwas.com. I think maybe I'll send you a couple of emails regarding that too. But if there's anyone from McVitties that wants to help us out here, talk to your bosses. I'm telling you, we've got a great thing going on here. It's not a lot of people watching it right now, but we've got that potential, and it's going to grow and improve every single day. McVitties. Hop on board while it's early. It's going to be cheap. What I want some biscuits, of course. Yeah, you got to send them over the internet, but I know you can do it. You are a very big company. And you know what? Maybe a little bit of cash, but I'm talking a little bit of cash because I'm a reasonable man. I'm a very reasonable man, McVitie. So let's talk. Have your people contact me. Once again, I am my people, and that contact is admin@wellithoughitwas.com. I'll be waiting for your email, my friends. And you know what? This is that portion of the video where I'm going to ask you 2 favors. We're going to ask them quickly. First favor, I want you to make somebody laugh if you can. So if you want to do me a favor, when you're out and about peopling, or if you're talking to somebody on the phone, who does that, right? Who talks to people on the phone? But if you are, or if maybe you're, communicating via chat or whatever it might be, if you get a chance and it's appropriate, try to make somebody laugh. Why? Because it's going to make their day better no matter what. If they're having a bad day, it's going to make it better. If they're having a good day, it's going to make it better. Why? Because you made them laugh. And making making people laugh is a wonderful thing. And you can do wonderful things. You help us build this wonderful group, my friends. My second favor, very closely related to that first one, I've asked you to make somebody else laugh. If you can do me that second favor, it would be making yourself laugh. Try to find something that you find funny, something that makes you laugh today, because you deserve to laugh just as much as anyone else. So take care of yourself, make yourself laugh, my friends, if you can. It's going to make you do better, I promise. And folks, this is the part of the video where, previously when we had the 2 groups, I would kind of push a little hard for donations. Now, we still have a donation page, and we still work hard on this group. Now, it's not like the other group where we had 625, they have 625,000 members right now, but we still work hard, and I'm also putting a lot of effort into trying to contact Facebook, work with Facebook and try to get that group back. So what am I saying? I'm saying we have a donation page. There is the QR code right there. There's a link down below here, but there's a clickable link in our notes to this video. This is 100% voluntary, my friends. We're okay if you don't donate, but we definitely appreciate it if you felt like donating and you did donate to us. Any little bit's going to help. It helps us being able to dedicate more time to this group and make this group a better group and continue its growth. Now, it's not going to grow without you, without your posts, without you sharing, and maybe, suggesting people join this group. But it still takes a lot of time from ourselves to keep things going smoothly. I do put in the lion's share, but I will say, I started off, not as much time as I was doing, say, up to a week ago. Same time, I'm going to dedicate more time to this group. I want to dedicate more time to this group. We want to keep this group growing. So if you feel like it, and it's something that you can afford, because that's the most important part, is you've got to be able to afford it. I don't want to take away your lunch by you donating some what I consider spare change. That's not the plan of this. The plan of this group is to make you laugh. But if you can't afford it and you feel like donating, we make it easy. We have that QR code that will get to the donation link, which is a PayPal page. If you scan it with your phone, assuming you're not watching on your phone. If you are watching on your phone, we've got that clickable link right above there. And you know what? Anything's going to be appreciated. Anything's going to help. And it's completely up to you, my friends, if you feel like doing it. I'm not threatening to go anywhere. I promise that. Boy, folks, I love what we've got here, and I'm going to hold on, so don't worry about that. But all and any donations are going to be greatly appreciated. And 50% of all donations will be given to the Calgary Humane Society. I want to do something good aside from just working on the group here. Let's be a little altruistic here. And I would like to say thank you very much once again to our good friend Melissa Carnahan. She donated $5 yesterday via our Buy Me a Cup of Coffee link, which is also in those notes. Melissa, really appreciate that. You're one of two folks that donate very regularly, including my mom. And I feel a little guilty, so Melissa, I don't want you to feel obligated. This is a message right to you, Melissa. Don't feel obligated to donate all the time because it's so appreciated, so appreciated. But I feel a little guilty because I keep taking your money specifically. I'm not saying I don't want it, but I just don't want you to think that. I just don't want you to think that we're taking advantage of Melissa, because we're not. But we appreciate it, and to anyone else there too. Like I said, it's voluntary, and I completely understand if you can't afford it or if you don't want to afford it. I'm not going to be upset, my friends. But if you do want to help us out, we make it easy. And again, 50% of those donations will be going to the Calgary Humane Society. Let's help some animals while we're at it, my friends. And you know what? I've got something along those same lines, but you get something tangible if you do go this way. We've got a store, my friends. We have a store with some great products. Look at this coffee cup, right? See that coffee cup? That's 15 ounces. That's almost 2 cups. Looks great, doesn't it? Guess what? We've got a better one. It's the same size. It's very similar, but on that one, you've got Dorothy on both sides. We've got a beautiful starscape on this one here, but on that one, you've got Dorothy and the starscape on both sides. That's the only difference. Same coffee cup, but just a little bit better. Now, as you can see, I'm wearing our hoodie. This is my favorite product that we have. It is so warm, and I'm in a basement right now, so that's why I wear a lot of hoodies when I'm down here. It is so warm. It's soft on the inside. I keep saying it, and I always repeat myself for certain things. This feels like a freaking hug, my friends. It just feels so nice. And I don't want to say buy the hoodie and get a hood from me. That'd be creepy, right? But no, it's a comfortable sweatshirt. I think the graphic looks great. I think our graphic looks fantastic in general. And I think it looks great on our coffee cup. Of course, I've got t-shirts. They look great. I've got a regular t-shirt. I've got a 3/4 sleeve, what I call a rock shirt. I call them rock shirts because I went to a lot of concerts as a teenager in the 80s. And I always bought those 3/4 sleeve rock shirts. And I still love that style. And that's why we've got them in the store. And we've got multiple colors, not just black and white. And, get out there. Check out that store. Coffee cups, hoodies, shirts, phone cases. We got phone cases for iPhones only at the moment. But a whole bunch of different models. If that's something you want to rock, just go in there. Just go to our store, check the drop-down menu, find your model of phone, click, and it's yours. We have a tote bag. I talk about this tote bag every day because A, it's a great tote bag. But B, I've got the best endorsement. I have an endorsement from Rose Glad, who purchased this bag a few months ago now, and she sent in a photo, and she had a few words for us. Here's that photo. Rose, you look awesome. I'm paraphrasing Rose's words right now because I don't have it right in front of me, but she said, not only is it good for carting around your groceries and your books, it's fantastic for your rubber chickens. I love it. I love that photo. Thank you so very much, Rose. Why do I love that one so much? Number one, it's just a cool photo. But rubber chickens have a long history in slapstick comedy. And, we're all about the laughs. And I remember seeing a lot of slapstick comedy when I was a kid when the rubber chickens were all around. So that's one of the reasons. It's got a connection, a deep rooted connection to classic comedy, that photo. And I really appreciate it. I appreciate everybody. We've got other folks that have sent in photos themselves. We've got Michelle Finnerty here. She's wearing that great rock shirt, and that's in denim color, I think it's called. I got me right there wearing a t-shirt. You've seen it before. And Sue Ochesky sent in a photo of her coffee cup that she just got recently. She said she's very happy with it. She likes it. It's much bigger than her old coffee cup, so she doesn't have to get up for more coffee as often. And she also said that she's going to revisit the store. She likes the product, and she's probably going to get some more stuff. Thank you so very much, Sue. I'm no pressure ever. I promise you, Sue. But I appreciate it. I appreciate you supporting us by buying that coffee cup. But I also appreciate you supporting us from being here every day and all those awesome posts you share, Sue. So thank you very much. Thank you so very much. And folks, check out the store. Be so happy if you purchase some of our products. Oh, I got another product that I mention every day now. It's still a little bit embarrassing. We've got women's panties. I think they're called high-waisted bikini bottoms. I think they look good. I, of course, don't have any. But I do think they look good. I don't want you to send in photos of yourself in them if you do get them. It's not that I don't think you're going to look fantastic, because you're a beautiful human. It's just because I don't want to have to explain to my wife why I am going through photos of beautiful women or men. I don't care. Whatever you want. But beautiful humans in panties. You know, no ulterior motives, but it still looks bad and not appropriate. But that said, doesn't mean I don't want you to buy them. The only reason they're in the store is because I had actually it's 5 people that had messaged me directly saying, why don't you put panties in the store? Well, their panties are in the store. If I get a request for boxers or men's briefs, I'll put those in the store too. I promise you. I am not sexist. So visit the store, my friends. If there is something there that you like and you purchase it, please send in your photos, except for the panties. This is not a hint either. And you know what? It'll just make our day to see that, because I love seeing you folks with our products. Awesome, my friends. And I think it's about time we start rounding up this video, especially since my voice is starting to get froggy for some reason. Excuse me. But once again, I just want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank you all for being members of this wonderful group. And I want you to know I haven't given up trying to get the other group back. I'm still fighting for it. I've sent off information that Facebook has requested in order to investigate this, and that hopefully goes well. Now, this is a different one. If anyone out there who's been a member of the group for a long time feels like sending in a letter of attestation, that's a letter that says you've been a member of that group, and you know that I was the host, the admin of that group, and the creator of that group. Once again, if you've watched these videos or interacted with me on the other group, if you want to send it in a letter attestation, that would be fantastic. And what it would be is you state who you are, and that how and why you know that I'm the creator of that other group. And then at the end, you just basically put your full name. You type out your full name, that's a digital signature, and date it. And explain your relationship to the group, or that you've been a member for a long time, or whatever. It's got to be dated in that. If you want to do that, it may be helpful. The more I have, probably the better chance I have of getting that group back. I don't know what the odds are, but I know it's better if I have more people attesting to the fact that I was the owner, the operator, and the creator of that group. Now, you can send those emails if you feel like doing it. It's got to be like a letter. So got to be done through Google Docs or Google or Word or whatever LibreOffice. I don't care. It's got to be in a PDF format, or if it's in a doc format, I can save it as a PDF. That's not a problem. So if you've got the time and the will and you want to do that, send that email or that letter to admin@wellithoughtitwas.com. That's admin@wellithoughtitwas.com. It might help. And I'm just looking for. I'm still trying to get that back, folks. I haven't given up, but at the same time, I'm fully vested in making this group grow more, because I love this group too, and I love you folks. I love what we've done together. I gotta say I love too much, and because I don't want to sound cheesy. I really do gotta let you go. The video's starting to get a little long. I'm already repeating myself. I just want to let you know that you folks absolutely rock. I love the fact that you come here every day. I love the fact that there's over 1,000 of us, and it's a wonderful group, and that it's growing every day. Remember, if you can, share the group. Share the post to your main Facebook feed, and suggest to your friends, if that's something you do, to join the group. It'll definitely help. And you know what? I'm going to be back here again tomorrow, and hopefully you're here again tomorrow too. Maybe we'll have a few more people. So, hey, all the love, my friends.